just because you have 3 casts with it, you can just go through and take everything, and now it's attacking the king, so you have to do something about that. And the queen's lost too.
Couldn't you at least go bishop? Oh, he's trying to do. Oh, bishop on b5 is going to where? Is it going to?
Yes.
Did it protect the queen?
H7.
H7, right? So is it like
yeah,
winning? White's gonna win the game.
White is winning.
It's sort of like White's winning.
Yes.
Is the king's lane on the next move, no? Oh, you see, while you're busy collecting stuff with your
right.
Yeah, this A4 was a brilliant idea. Yeah, he was giving all the pawns, but just to get the bishop on b5 to set up this. Oh wow, what a game! Insane stuff. What a masterpiece, Jesus.
Yeah, that's the fun.
Yeah, no, these players are so good with this. Yeah, as I was saying, these players are so good with Transcendence. Yeah.
But the Transcendence dominates the game, yeah, kind of. It sort of that spell dominates the game pretty much, as we had seen now, because it's such a powerful tool that it sort of starts to look like cylinder chess instead of. So the other spells there, in terms of their usability, they're quite bleak in comparison. So everything revolves around the spells, and yeah, it's a very difficult three-dimensional game that you have to wrap your head around.
Yes, for sure. And I mean, a lot of the players are just playing the entire game based on preventing attacks from Transcendence and also trying to create the attack. So right now it's sort of changed pretty much how players are playing the entire game with Anichess. So I wonder if that's going to be like nerfed at some point. Because at the moment it can take the king, and none of the other spells you can take the king with, right? Except for bishop. So do you think that's going to be something that changes?
Well, if you ask me, I have no idea where where the developers are trying to take this game. I imagine that what would be fun is to keep switching things around, and so the best player will be the one who is the most adaptive to the changing circumstances and changing rules of the game, and then you're sort of in the moment talent is more valuable than experience, because you can't build up experience. You build up experience for a couple of days, and then in the next stage there will be another spell, and you got to start from scratch again. So no, it's fascinating stuff, and it's very impressive indeed how the players were playing. Wow, the black seemed like they're all about transcending, they're collecting everything with the rook, but white was very, very sneaky there, and with just the pieces remaining was able to checkmate, which is very, very impressive. And in fact, what the transcendence sort of gives, and it also takes it away, it's essentially it distracted black from thinking about its own king. We were focusing so much on the he took the rook, the knight, the queen, and after he took the queen, he thought, this is it. But then came the final blow, and it's amazing.
Yeah, you're actually right about that. It seems like the previous meta was House Recruit, Parker Mech, and Queen Time, but with this addition of Transcendence, it really changed the game here in Anichess. So most of them, actually, if you look at the leaderboards right now, most of them are using Transcendence. Players like Freyza, they keeps on using the Queen Time, but it has Transcendence on the skill list. So definitely, I guess this changes the current meta here in Anichess. And they get really creative with that.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen any match so far that people haven't been using Transcendence. Everybody has used it pretty much. I don't think there's even been one game that people haven't used it. It's just really, really strong right now. And for the finals, is there a rule where you can't use the same spell twice if it's a best of 3?
Well, last tournaments, there was this rule that you cannot use the same spells you have used from the previous match. So if it's going to be the same rules, definitely it's going to be difficult and a little bit challenging for both players. And I think that will really, produce who's the best player in Anichess.
Yeah, for me, so coming from chess, really, and no other gaming background whatsoever, this is a very unusual format, because one thing we have in chess is that it's a game that's been exactly the same for over a century already. even I believe 2 centuries. At some point they changed some rules, but then that stopped doing that, and it's been hundreds of years. And for me, the notion of changing the game is like so alien, and in Anichess it is so extremely dynamic that within the same round maybe you can change and use different spells, and then the whole thing turns upside down. So that's, for me, it's really, really difficult to wrap my head around that concept, and it's a different kind of fascinating experience.
No, it is really fascinating. I mean, I'm getting confused watching all of these different opening strategies, but it seems like the players are learning as they go as well. Like, we're seeing changes in how they're preferring to play the openings, and that's what you do with Anichess, I guess. You adapt and you learn. But I think that now we're going to go into a break, and then we're going to see the big final match afterwards. So we'll see you guys soon.
beyond tradition. With a drop of magic. Clash in epic battles where magic reshapes strategy. Unleash spells to transform the game. Attack! Defend! Trick! Master them all. Ready to duel in the realm of magic?
And we're back here in Spells Rush, brought to you again by Anichess, ChessBase India, and Team Secret. And we still have our Super Grandmaster, Anish Giri, with us commentating for this best-of-3 grand finals. Are you excited, Hannah? Oh, there's an audio problem, I guess. But what about you, Anish? What do you think?
She looks excited, though. She looks very excited, but I also don't hear her. But just from the visuals, she's definitely excited for the.
Yeah, judging from the visuals.
Okay, I'm here now, guys. Okay,
It's okay,
well,
it's okay.
as I was going to say, I'm pretty excited about this match. We went from, everyone in the top 64 down to now we just have the final two. And yeah, I think it's going to be a really close one because we saw a lot of close games happening, a lot of transcendent spell that we still, haven't fully worked our heads around. And we might see some more different spells as well. What's your favorite combo of spells, Anish?
I'm not big on this. I haven't played so much. When I played it, I think the bishop thing was like something I really liked very much, for sure. Queen time as well, where you could turn a piece and move it like a queen once, because then you could capture, with a knight in an unexpected way. That was like a common thing. People would not suspect a knight to be able. And I didn't use it myself much, but I found it very annoying when people would start dropping pawns on my board, one after the other. So so that was also one that I found quite difficult. And also there's this swapping as well, which was quite cool, where you would swap your piece with the opponents. So those were the ones I was mostly using. Also because I use the same set and get used to it instead of experimenting too much with all kinds of different ones. Now that there's a transcendence thing, I would have to go with that for sure.
Yeah, so basically, those are House Recruit, Queen Time, and the Bishop 2.0. But we're here again for the grand finals for Spells Rush, and we're going to watch Elijah against Fraser, and both of them having different spells. So let's just discuss first what spells does Elijah have. So he has Slip, Parker Mech, and House Recruit, while Fraser has Shot in the Dark, Bishop 2.0, and Imposter. So there's no Transcendence in the spell list right now. What do you think about this, Hannah?
Finally, some spells that I understand. I mean, the Parkour Mech and the House Recruit are some of my favorites. Like, you can just put a pawn anywhere and then also turn one of those pawns into a knight. It's really useful just to get some extra material. And the Slip spell, it's really also easy to use. You're just moving a piece diagonally. You can open up the position that way, get your pieces active earlier. And yeah, I also love the Imposter spell for some tricks. That one's also really fun.
That is nice.
So can you guys explain me just why would somebody so early on in the game use one of the spells already on move 2?
Oh, okay.
That's on E to F, I guess.
Yeah, so this Slip spell, you can use it. It's only 1 mana. And then it also steals a mana from your opponent. So you can kind of just use it to take away the ability of your opponent to cast a spell.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And
just
at the same time,
because why not, yeah?
why not use it if you can cast and use that spell? And probably this has been the current meta, the current use case for this sleep spell if you're having the Transcendence spell. But also, I don't. Let's see what Elijah has in his mind with this slip from E to F. Maybe he has a different plans.
Yeah. Also this move H4. Do you immediately see why you would do H4? What exactly is what exactly does it prepare or anticipate?
Yeah, so this might be to try and use a slip spell in the future. Maybe you want to slip the pawn from H4 to G5 and attack the knight. So sometimes this can be useful.
Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, or maybe he can push it all over to H6, and if Black just, tend to ignore it, he can slip through G7, and since Elijah has House Recruit, he can use it to his advantage and put more pawns on that 6th rank just to support that 7th rank pawn.
Yeah. Yeah, the combination of the sleep and the House Recruits suddenly makes it look like Elijah is sort of is already the favorite in this game, isn't he?
Yeah, well, I mean, Elijah is the higher rated player, and we were saying Elijah, I think, is the highest Anichess, like the highest rated Anichess player on the leaderboard at all. So, yeah. So he's like a really, really good player and probably great chances to win overall.
You can tell he's a great player because the way he plays at the opening, I would have never made any of those moves because I'm I'm a noob at this game. I'm just a chess player. So I can sort of feel just from the weirdness of his moves, I can feel that they must be strong just because they're so weird. Like you don't make those, you can't just make these moves up if you don't know what you're doing. So he must be doing something really, really clever. I can tell.
Yeah, actually, and knowing that he's from Russia, probably he's a grandmaster. We don't know yet. We don't have any information aside from the fact that he's from Russia. And so far, the games that we have commentated from his side, he doesn't have any blunders aside from the fact that he'd given one queen right a while ago. So yeah, a player transcended and his queen was captured, but he managed to win that game. And right now we can see him play here in the finals.
Yeah, that was a really cool game to watch. I mean, maybe one of my favorites where he went down a queen but then used Transcendence with the 2 bishops just attacking the king and queen. But now we've seen Shot in the Dark, which is where you get to turn a piece invisible for a turn. And you can either move it or you can keep it exactly where it is. So this is one you can use to trick your opponents and maybe move somewhere questionable or just keep your piece where it is if you want to use, I don't know, reverse psychology on them.
But so if you have moved the knight, let's say to d4, white, what did he do? Did he drop the knight on c2?
Yeah, slip from b1 to c2.
Oh yeah, I see, and yeah, I don't know like why, but why? I guess why not?
Yeah, actually,
I know. To protect from some kind of dropping. Yeah, maybe some to protect the c2 square. Maybe in some. Just not sure.
Yes, exactly. If he decides to move that queen and not guard that c2, probably it could have ended being fourth. But it's good that he has this slip spell to kind of counter that shot in the dark move. And right now, again, they both doesn't have the Transcendence, so this can get a little interesting compared to the other matches.
I think now the best move in chess would lose the game immediately. Like probably the best move if it was a normal chess game would be to play knight to e4 to go towards the weak d6 square. But I guess you could then lose to the bishop capturing your king on e1. So you gotta really be attentive there.
You're right.
Yeah, I feel like
this hop.
Yeah, you can't really just use normal chess principles when you're playing Anichess, which is like, I was talking about the other night, I'm like, maybe being good at chess can even make you worse at Anichess sometimes, like, because then you're just trying to think
at first,
too much about what is the best move.
Yeah, I think at first it's not helping, but I guess the whole notion of becoming better at chess, like the way you adapt, like eventually the skills, like essential skills you have will help you to learn to become a better Anichess player. But at first, that you're good at chess will confuse you a little bit for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. If you're that good in chess and you play Anichess, it's like you have to relearn everything, because not everything in opening principles, the theories you have in traditional chess can work here in Anichess. Sometimes those theories, those principles can lead you to a loss, because sometimes the safety of the king isn't really safe at all because of the addition of transcendence. So you have to keep in mind that every squares from left to right, you have to be very careful where you place your king.
Yeah, but also
yeah, exactly.
I spoke about it. Yeah, no, for sure. But I spoke about when I was playing myself, the Blitz game with this time control. It is so extremely difficult with so little time to calculate all these complex lines, because you have to calculate so many possibilities. You also have to keep the count of mana in mind, and it's just wild stuff. Really, really difficult.
Yeah, there is a lot of things you need to keep track of, and the fact that they keep changing the game as well means that you have to keep adapting to new spells, and also just trying to think about every single move. What can my opponent do? What spells can they use? How much mana do I have? So yeah, I mean, these guys obviously have put a lot of time into becoming very, very good at this game, and you can really see it in how they're playing.
Yeah, and white player Elijah is managing this time much better, because I think having 2 minutes advantage over 1 minute is quite tremendous, and it's likely will tell very quickly, because the time situation, when you are in time trouble in regular chess, you can sort of get away because of all this common patterns that you know. Here, when any move could be a blunder, it's going to be pretty, really difficult. Okay, now it's a very dangerous moment, because he just shot in the dark, so he might have attacked the queen on c2. And white should probably move that queen, I guess.
Yeah, because he could have gone like knight to e3 or knight b4, or maybe
f4,
even just
or
kept the knight where it is.
No.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't think you can capture.
Makes sense. And if can I try capturing a knight? You cannot try capturing, right? I think you can't, because you don't see it. Yeah, no, moving the queen was the only thing.
You can. Yeah, you can play bishop to e3, and that will capture that invisible piece.
But you can't try c6 before, right? If you can't really try a move like that, right?
You can. You can put your bishop on e3, and if that knight ends up
c3,
at e3, then it will be lost.
Yeah. But the pawn you can't move diagonally, obviously, right? So then it was only.
Oh,
black is
the slip spell. You want to move like.
I could have tried moving. Yeah, I see. Could do the slip spell with pawn on c3 to b4 and hope to capture knight, which could be on b4. But that would be a crazy gamble, yeah.
Yeah, it could be a crazy gamble, because it ended up placing in another square.
Yeah, I think moving the queen was moving the queen, though. Yeah, I guess was a safer move. But now it cost white a lot of material, and black's won a bunch of things. Black's suddenly doing visually not so badly, here.
I agree, and shot in the dark is always a threat here.
Shot in the dark is driving him nuts. He's got to move the queen again now, because the guy could have played bishop f3, he could have also played somewhere else. So you have to move the queen g2 or something. Yeah, that's what he does.
Yeah, and if you want to gamble and think that the bishop's on f3 and you play queen f3, there's a chance they put the bishop somewhere else and you lose your queen. Oh, it's a horrible spell. I hate this one.
Yeah, no, it was nasty. He also did the this swapping thing, the imposter, right? And he won the queen, but now white's about to promote the pawn. Beautiful stuff. This is d2 c7. Black lost the rook from the back rank, and now it can stop the promotion unless you can use some kind of spell. But I don't know which spell you can use at this point. Can't use anything.
Actually, I guess it doesn't have anything to use for black, and having that panic time, less than 15 seconds, that adds up to tense and the pressure.
Yeah, white looks completely winning right now.
He's winning here. With those spells, and I don't know if imposter can be used, but yeah. time-wise, Freyza is less than 15 seconds, so more pressure, more prone to making a mistake, more blunders.
Just some house recruits right now would probably be good, no? Like drop some pawn.
So steps into the fray.
Ooh, yeah.
And
Yes,
then just
actually.
hang on. Okay. He just wants to collect the b6 pawn or not. Wow, wait, he's going forward. This is very desperate. You can try to stop the king by like moving the pawn to d3. Yeah? You don't have sleep. You don't have sleep anymore as white. You've used your slips. Yeah.
No slips.
Yes, but you do have house recruit, so you could place a pawn on d3.
Okay, probably a good idea. Why not? Oh, nice.
And the Parker mech. Let's not
That's
forget
nice.
that.
That's GG. That's GG. Beautiful stuff. But now you to capture the king. Wow.
GG's.
Yeah.
And no time left too. And Elijah wins that match. First match. Again, it's a best
Yeah,
of
so it is
three.
a best
format?
of
How many-
3. Yeah.
Best of three. Wow. So this was just the first game, right? Or I'm getting confused because we have seen 2 games already, but this was the first one of this match.
Yeah, first one of this best of 3 match. So that's
we've got two
Elijah
more games
against
potentially.
Freyza.
Yeah, before we
Yes.
saw
Do you
the
think there's-
consolation finals, yeah. Yeah, no, go ahead.
Sure.
What were you going to say?
Yeah, no, I was wondering, like, you guys noticed white having any significant advantage over black or not really? Like in terms of starting
First,
having
go.
the yeah.
I honestly, at least for me, I don't really notice too much of a difference, especially because black they start with 1 mana as well, so it means you can like cast your spell. You don't get any sort of disadvantage with how fast you can cast the spells, so I think it's actually pretty equal.
Yeah, I didn't pay attention. I never realized the black starts with an extra mana, but it makes a lot of sense. Otherwise, white would have an extra advantage, not only starting the first move, but also having an extra. But now this probably balanced it out actually quite a bit. Very nice. Yeah. No, I guess once we have a lot of these high level games, we could start looking at statistics and seeing how is white performing. Is it about 50%, or is it more, or is it less? But it feels indeed quite even right now.
Exactly. Here in Anichess, if you're black, you have more than you have like 1 mana advantage, but it doesn't guarantee that you're winning. Doesn't guarantee that you have a big advantage as well in the game. Adding that transcendence spell, and I think there are more spells coming. So, yep, depends on the player, depends on the play style, and how will he or she will be able to use or utilize these spells.
Yeah,
Yes,
and you can
sure,
sometimes
and-
have like a.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Sorry. No, you go ahead.
No, I was just wanted to mention that sometimes you have those local victories, like you win a queen or something, and but then 2 moves later it turns out that you won the battle, but you're going to lose the war. So it's just a really complex game. Even the last one, it was looking like black is taking over. He took some pieces, then he collected the queen, but just at that moment, suddenly the script flipped.
Okay, well, soon I think we're going to go into the next game of the match because it is a best of 3, so unlike the previous matches, which was just 1 game and then you're done, this is best of 3. So Elijah needs to win 1 more game if he wants to be the champion of this tournament of the Spells Rush, and if we have a draw or a win from Freyza, then the match will continue. Who do you think is going?
And speaking of that,
for the
I
next
guess
one?
we can have like a spell prediction, and I'm predicting that both of them will be using Transcendence in this next match. What about you guys? Do you think they will be using Transcendence, or will they be saving it for the last?
Yeah, go for it, Anna.
Or maybe Hannah.
Yeah, no. So sometimes you might want to save best till last, but I think that Fraser right now is in a must-win situation, or at least must not lose. So maybe right now you'd want to use Transcendence just to try and give yourself the best opportunity not to lose the match in this game. So we might see it, we might not.
Yeah, no, definitely saving your best for last, but this might be your last, so probably you should get this going. So the rule is that you cannot use the spells from the previous game. Yeah, that's the rule.
Yes, that's exactly the rule. You cannot use the same spell. I mean, yeah, all the spells that you have used from the previous rounds, you have to completely use a different spell.
Yeah, and that makes it really difficult to try and, especially if you're usually just using 3 spells that you think are the best. Now you have to try and come up with like 9 different spells that you want to use if you're not so familiar with. Might be more difficult to come accustomed to them.
Yeah, that's the point, right? You can't really be a specialist of just a few spells. You got to really know your entire arsenal of tools and utilize them well. Some of these spells I haven't even tried. Like I like this penguin, by the way it looks. The penguin is quite cute, but I'm not sure what it does.
Yeah, actually, there are more to that. Aside from Pengu Dive, there's Pounce and Purr, and there's this Transcendence, and I believe there's a new spell that's coming. But can you tell us, Hannah, about Pounce and Purr, since I believe you're using this spell most of the time. You're playing Anichess.
Oh yes, yeah. I like to use Pounce and Purr Queen Time, and then also the House Recruit, where you get to place the pawns. Pounce and Purr is one where you get to move a piece to an adjacent square and then freeze an opponent's piece nearby. So you can do it with pawns. Like you can move the pawn to the side, backwards, up, down, wherever you want to go, and then you can freeze a nearby piece. So I like it if maybe my opponent's queen comes too close, and then I can freeze it and win the queen fast.
It's just wild stuff, guys. It's so complicated. So complicated. I feel so dumb just playing regular chess. It is so easy for what I'm doing. This is really, really complex.
But the thing is, there's also a counter to Pounce and Purr. Can you share how do you counter Pounce and Purr, since it stuns your opponent's piece, right? How most of your opponents counter that spell?
Oh yeah, because it does freeze the piece, but some spells kind of override the Pounce and Purr, which is the cute one Anish was talking about, the Pengu Dive. So you can use Pengu Dive where you're able to just jump a piece anywhere within like a 5x5 range. Any empty square, you can just move it there. So I could stun a piece, but if my opponent has Pengu Dive, they can just move away. So it makes it only more complicated.
Yeah, no, but it's just also, you just want to have the penguin there, no, for some emotional support somehow during your game. You want to feel you've got the penguin on your side.
Exactly. The penguin can be, an emotional support, especially if you're having a hard time or a difficulty, playing the game. Yeah, can be used as emotional support.
Yeah, in a must-win situation, when you're in the final and you gotta come back, perhaps the penguin is the one team member you need to get yourself together and make a comeback.
Exactly. Anyway, yeah.
When are they going to start? Do you know when they're going to start?
Yeah,
we're
currently preparing any moment. But I guess again, my predictions for Elijah, I'm predicting it's gonna be Transcendence, Shot in the Dark, and probably we can see a Parker Mech on his side. What about you, Hannah? What are your predictions for the spell with Elijah?
I mean, I already forgot which ones he used on the last turn. So I think that last time he had House Recruit and Parkour Mech, did he?
I don't know. House Recruit, he used Slip. And the other one, I forgot. Let me quickly replay it here so that we... yeah, he used Slip. Yeah, he used Parker Mech. So maybe Parker Mech... Sorry, man. Let's replace it with a Bishop instead of Parker Mech. Thank you for the
Okay,
question.
I love to see it. No, that's all good. I was just wondering because I felt like you'd used that one before. I'm hoping he uses Pounce and Purr because, like, I feel like Pounce and Purr has not been getting enough representation here. Like, this is my favorite spell and nobody's using it. So it must be kind of bad. So let's hope for Pounce and Purr, maybe some Imposter. I love the Imposter spell. That one's always really fun. And what about a movement spell? Maybe we've never seen the side to side or up to down, like the Duke or Shift spells. We've only seen Slip. Maybe somebody uses one of those ones.
Yeah, speaking about it, here are the spells that Elijah and Fraser have right now. So for Fraser, he have Parker Mech, House Recruit, and Queen Time, the previous meta and I guess the current meta. For Elijah, he has Shot in the Dark, Pounds and Purr, Hannah's favorite, and Queen Time.
No penguin there for anybody. Pity. And what do we know about Frieza as a player? So we know that Elijah is a Russian, strong player from Russia. And what about Frieza? Do we know anything?
Fraser. Hold on. Fraser is from... Let me grab
Hungary, right?
Fraser is from Hungary, yes.
And they use the female avatar, but we don't know the gender of the player.
Yeah, we're not so sure. That's why sometimes we use him or her.
Yeah, maybe them in that case. To be on the safe side,
Yeah, well, in this opening, it looks like we're having a relatively normal opening position. All the other games have been kind of crazy with all the flank pawns being pushed and double pawns everywhere, but this looks quite normal for a game, as far as a game of Anichess goes.
Especially how White plays. White plays very conventional. This is how I would play. Just the pawn in the center, the knight's out. This is how we teach kids to play chess. And Black slightly unconventional because a bit too many pawn moves for my taste, but also not insane.
Yeah, actually, we've commentated a lot of games that has a lot of pawn moves as well, and it ends up winning. So maybe that's the case here in Anichess. It doesn't really mean that if you're moving too much of these pawns, you're violating a lot. Sometimes it can be very helpful. It depends on the situation and the spells you have.
Yeah, no, it's...
and we see the Pounce and Purr. Yep. This is the spell I like, Pounce and Purr. So they've gotten that pawn from d6 to e5, and now that knight is frozen for the turn, and there's no Pengu dive, so that knight is just stuck.
I think the guy was maybe setting a trap with his opening. Yeah, he was setting a trap with his opening. That was the whole point. Yeah, the d4 was a blunder. Nasty, very nasty. Elijah is a total boss here. Yeah, Elijah is extremely good.
Oh, by the way, we have a notice here that Elijah is indeed a Grand Master, which is why he plays really well.
Yeah, it's not surprising. Not surprising. He's not just a Grandmaster. I'm also a Grandmaster, but I can't play this kind of complicated stuff. I mean, he's a Grandmaster who has really put his efforts into mastering this particular game as well.
Yeah, that's why we cannot comprehend some of his moves, some of the plans they have here, because he's a legend.
I just trust him at this point. Yeah, he just played Queen 7. I don't know why, but I'm sure it's super strong. I don't know. He's doing something smart here.
Actually, he just put his queen to c7 because there's a queen time available to use, and that bishop on d4 can actually queen time his queen on d8 if he doesn't move that queen on the way.
I knew it. I told you, but I knew it was smart. I knew it was smart.
He really is, and you are too.
Well, I mean, I'm not smart, but I can tell when somebody else is smart, and that's already good. That's already something. This is bishop d7. Yeah, this is so strange. There must be some very deep point, but I don't know what it is. Like, once again, it's such a strange move.
Yeah, for us it's strange.
Yeah,
I'll not be moving bishop d7 if I was him.
It also appears to weaken the f7 pawn somewhat. I have a feeling that we are here present at the Elijah show, and it's like when you're watching a magic show and you just sit back and relax and watch, and nothing makes sense until at the end he pulls out a rabbit from his hat, and then you're like, yeah, it was there all along.
Totally agree.
Josh here. Though he's taking his time. I mean, it's very strange to play bishop d7 and then after that, he's trying to prepare a long castle, I guess. Or I don't know.
Yeah, probably that's the plan. Probably that's the plan. But he's a legend, so you gotta trust him here.
Yeah, it's, I must say, like, from my chess instincts, even though white is down a piece, I kind of like white's compensation there. But yeah, the king on the queen side would normally be a little vulnerable in a normal chess. I don't know, like, take
fresh pawn.
Oh yeah, this is nice. Oh, this is very powerful.
Yeah, I was gonna say, am I crazy for liking white's position here? Because, I don't know, Fraser might not be the stronger player, but I like all the space that she has here.
But you know, Elijah, he saw this coming. This is why he did bishop d7, knight d6 and castle, because he saw d6 coming. And he realized that the best way to anticipate this would be to castle queenside, because he was never be in time to castle kingside. It's really incredible how well he's playing, even though I mean, of course, he cannot be ahead of 5 steps ahead, but he's still very much ahead, at least of the commentators.
Yeah, but I guess you have to be careful as black, right? Because on the next move, Fraser will have 7 mana and will be able to cast the queen time spell, so that bishop on d4 could move like a queen and catch the queen on d6. So you definitely have to be wary for that.
No, yeah, busted. Black is completely busted. The thing is, Elijah, he had this dirty trick with e5 takes the d4 knight, and all his mental energy went there. But
it's going to be c5 pounce and per, right? Queen takes, and then c5 pounce and per, freeze the queen, and take it on the next turn, I think.
Take it. Okay.
Or does that not work? Because there would be a bishop
or
b7.
bishop takes b7.
Bishop b7.
Yes.
Bishop takes
Yeah.
b7.
Queen time.
Can I make queen time with my d7 bishop queen time takes d4? No, that's the way to do it, right?
Yeah, queen time the knight to d4.
Queen time the bishop from d7 to d4. Yeah, that's probably how he's gonna win the queen back. White can also queen time the knight to d4.
Yes.
The next move.
Queen time the knight to d4.
Yes. And black can also queen time once, but then basically white's winning, yeah, pretty much. At least upper queen.
Yeah.
Yeah, upper queen. But this happened a while ago.
But it was a different kind of but that time black had like issues on the back rank, and now white has also a better position. Yeah, everything's protected. I guess white is just completely winning, and Elijah's opening. Besides that opening move with the e5 takes d4, after that everything went wrong for him. Got too greedy.
Okay, but yeah, there's been multiple games where Elijah has been down a queen and has still managed to win. I think there was also an earlier one where he sacrificed a queen for 2 bishops and won that one as well using the Transcendence spell. So yeah, I would like to say that the side with the queen is going to be better, but you just never really know.
Yeah, but at least what I had seen so far is that Elijah, okay, he's very good, but he's not a god. Yeah, he definitely made some mistakes in this game. I mean, you can say it was not the plan to give up the queen there. So he's still he's still human. You can still beat him, and I think Fraser is definitely in with a good chance here.
Actually, right. Yeah, it wasn't really the plan, I guess, with Elijah losing that queen. But yeah, he is also disadvantaged with the time because he has less than 50 seconds. And yep, maybe the goal is to make it difficult for white to win in this position.
For a spell, the queen's path will tell.
Okay. Queen time has been moved.
Okay, yeah. Well, but he did It did cost him a rook though. But now he can safely play without without worrying. He can take on f7 and not worry about anything. Yeah, rook e1, I guess. Why not?
Yeah.
You can counter drop.
I think
Can't you
Fraser
drop
actually
pawn on
could.
e6?
Yeah, you can. That's what I was just thinking. You could drop a pawn, and then you can also turn that into a knight on one of the next moves as well using parkour mech. So I feel
And
like
then
Fraser might actually
win the
win.
king. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just make it a knight and collect this. Okay, but for now he doesn't have the mana for that. So.
Yeah. So you need to wait.
But you can take the queen f8.
Mana.
You can take queen takes f8 and bishop f8. Then just it counts as a move though, so it will just be a check. You can't take the king right away.
Yeah. So you probably have to just move the queen away for now, and then
Exactly. You should probably use the shot in the dark at some point with the f6 knight and try to collect the queen.
Yeah.
Maybe play like knight to g4 and like hope the guy will move the queen somewhere on e5 and then
Exactly.
98.
That's a great one.
But yeah, I think that,
I guess
yeah.
Elijah's quitting.
I don't understand why did he give the queen? I don't think that was very smart. I don't think he should have given the queen there.
I agree with you.
He's anyway winning.
Yeah.
He's anyway winning
Because of the parkour mech.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, no, this is just so winning. Oh. Okay, there's this, but you can do house recruit, in between moves, attack the king, and then you take the bishop, yeah.
Take the king, why don't you take the king? Why you remove, why you take the king? You could have one.
Yeah, I guess he wants to add more pressure instead of just finishing it.
Psychological. Okay, you just remove the guy will take the king, of course.
Shift the play.
White is completely winning. You can also do house. Yeah, okay, house recruit is gone, but basically, shot in the dark with only one knight cannot get you very far. Yeah.
Okay, you can try some tricks though. You can play like shot in the dark, knight f4 maybe, threaten the knight on e2.
Yeah, but I mean, how predictable is that? Yeah, I'll just defend from it. Also, he hasn't used shot in the dark 3 times by now, and he's definitely mismanaged his spells there. So not good.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, no, it's not good.
The way I see it is just saving his favorite skills or spells because he wants it to use it when he's in white collar. Maybe that's the reason. Because he's not using shot in the dark.
Rook d4 is going to be checkmate, right? Yeah, and I mean, I take the king the next move.
You can use shot in the dark.
Okay, shot in the dark, yeah, maybe king
shot in the dark. Yeah, shot in the dark.
King soon to remark.
King d3.
King c3, king b3.
King to b3. King b3. King b3.
Oh,
yes,
yep,
predicted. Predicted.
Wow, what were the odds? Yeah, there were so many squares and he just guessed it, but okay, it was a safe one.
Rook d3. And Fraser won that match, so it's 1-1, right? 1-1. Elijah won and Fraser won.
So you're thinking he was keeping his best spells for the next white game and now he's going to beat him? That's the plan. It was a plan all along, yeah?
I guess that's the plan because I have this similar game plan before, so maybe I was thinking he was saving it up for saving the best for the last. I think that's where we're getting at. What about you, Hannah? What do you think? What is the strategy of Elijah in this battle?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really think about it until you said it, but now it makes so much sense. Neither player has used Transcendence, so I think we can guess almost, I would say 100% we're going to see 2 Transcendence spells used in the next game. And yeah, but it's both the players have already used House Recruit, they've used Parkour Mech, they've used Queen Time, they've used all the other really popular strong spells, so we might see some less popular spells in the next one, maybe Pengu Dive.
Yeah, Pengu
I
Dive.
can't even think of what else hasn't been used. Yeah.
Imposter or Bishop 2.0, I guess it can also be used.
Whatever they're gonna have, probably Transcendence is going to dominate the game pretty much. Like like the losers final we had, constellation final that we had seen. So.
Yeah, that might be the strategy, even just like, okay, I'll use Transcendence in this and I don't really care what other spells I have because I'll just rely on Transcendence to win me the game.
Yeah.
Exactly. The reason why I think Elijah was saving it for the best because, as you can see, he did not use most of his shot in the dark. He just used it to save his king in a very losing position. So I'm thinking he was not so serious on that game. But he was doing his, maybe he's not best. He's not at his best because the spells are, shot in the dark. He didn't use it. So that's my wild guess for now.
Yeah, but if he did win that game, that would have been 2 points, and then he would have won the match. So I wonder whether it really was a tactical decision after all.
Yeah, there was this one spell he was using really well. This one that Hannah mentioned, this one where you grab freeze the piece, and move diagonally. That spell he was really sharp on. Yeah. He used a few times very quickly and very well. So I guess that's one spell he was very serious about. But it's true, with the shot in the dark, he definitely mismanaged because he didn't use it at all. He definitely should have in hindsight at various moments. I think when Queen was on G7, yes, somewhere there maybe he could try to use that. Try to gamble a bit because he was lost at that point. Maybe try to gamble a bit there and try to win some material there if you get lucky.
Yeah, facts.
All right, well, yeah, we're definitely going to see some Transcendence in the final game. No idea what else we're going to see. Maybe Fraser's going to use the Pounce and Pair in this one. And I was glad we got to see it in the last one too. It is a really powerful spell if you use it correctly. But yeah, this is really the game that either player who wins is going to be the champion and get that $700. Big prize fund for today. Second place still takes home a pretty fair share, but first place, $700. Second with $400. And then the other guys that we saw play off in the consolation finals just before, third got $300 and fourth with $200. Also with some made points as well.
That's right, and as you notice, we're playing Anichess because as you play Anichess, you get to have these M8 points, and play Anichess, you get these M8 points through rank, through quick matches, and as you join tournaments, you also get these M8 points, plus the cash prizes as well.
Yes, and how long did this particular tournament last of today?
So I think for today, it started about 3 hours ago. But I think originally there was about 1,000 players that started off in this open qualifier, and then it was down to 64 players last night, and down to the final 8 from today. So both players have already been playing for like 3 hours, qualifying and getting into this final, so I imagine they're both a little bit tired at this point.
No, and also before qualifying today, they qualified before as well, so they've gained more valuable experience coming to this final.
Yeah, but in total, it's about a week that this tournament has already happened, and it's really exhausting for some. But having these prizes, I guess, that's worth a while.
And now we're going to jump into the final game. We are seeing both sides with Kangaroo Dive, yay, and also 2 Transcendence spells, as we predicted. And kind of one of the metas for using Transcendence is the Fianchetto, so that you can, because the diagonal that you would come out on if you go through the Fianchetto would be the one that aims towards the queen, so that bishop would go from c1 to a3, around to h4. It's hard without arrows, but all the way towards that queen on d8. And then same with the bishop that can come from f1, h3, a4, and then towards the king. So this is usually a setup you see with
A
transcendence.
diagonal stride.
Yeah, no, but it's very clear to me what's happened there with the spells. So both players they took Transcendence because you have to take Transcendence, right? It's the most powerful spell. Then they have one more which is sort of useful, like the Bishop 2.0 and the Slip. And they both took the Penguin just as a mascot for good luck. And both players used the exact same strategy, which is what I suggested initially as well.
Yeah, I agree with the Penguin as being lucky charm or good luck for this match. However, they differ with the Slip and Bishop 2.0. So I'm guessing Slip is also quite useful because we've watched and commented some of the matches who have used Slip along with Transcendence spell, and it can get really tricky because it seems like this one there's an a5 pawn. However, after slipping through b4 and then later on that queen d8 or the diagonal from d8 all the way to h4 to e1 that can be opened later on.
Yeah, no, there's lots going on there. And it's interesting to know that you can't use the bishop and transcendence at the same time because that would make your bishop super mega powerful. Yeah, go through the entire board and then also through some pieces. But that's not something you can do at once, I guess.
Yes, you can't do it at once, but your opponent has to worry about both of those things at once. So I know that when you're facing someone who's using bishop and transcendence, it's like you can make threats that threaten both transcendence and bishop, and your opponent might only be able to defend against one. So it's a nice combo, actually.
Very smart. Okay, so he's opening the files for the rooks. Now the h4 pawn is somewhat pinned because I guess he was considering taking the h4 pawn, yeah, with the transcendence. Now it's
yeah, exactly.
Black could also do that.
That's
right?
one of the play styles.
You could do it now, no?
So far.
Why not do it now? I think you should do it now, no? You can, can't you?
Transcend all the way to h4.
A5 or?
Yeah, to take. I mean, with black, you can take from a5 pawn to h4, or no need yet.
Yes, yes.
Or with white, take
can,
from h4 to a5. I don't know, like either of the two.
Both of them
makes some sense, I guess.
Yeah, since both of them have 4 mana, so yep, it's up to them who's gonna be taking it through transcendence.
Wow.
Yeah, that animation is also so cute with the penguin. And Pengu Dive is actually like a really useful spell because you can just, you know those positions in normal chess where you're like, I wish I could just put a knight on e6 right now, but it's on g8. So you have to like imagine this long knight maneuver where you get the knight to e6. But like Pengu Dive, you just go, okay, I'm going to put it on e6 right now.
Yeah, very nice, especially for the knights, because knights indeed take a very long time to reach certain squares. Wow, beautiful.
Yeah, that's the beauty of Pengu Dive. Actually, aside from countering pounds and per, you can actually use it to make these impossible moves. And yep, you can see that Freysa is quietly getting, engaging here in the queen side. What are your thoughts about this, Hannah? Do you think you're more into Freysa's position or in Elijah's position?
Ooh, okay, let me think for a second. I actually quite like Freysa's combination of spells, I have to say. Like, saving Slip until the end is nice. I just feel like Slip is such a useful spell for the pawns. But right now, maybe I like Elijah's pawn structure. Like, it looks a little bit nicer to look at with those pawns, you know? Freysa has, like, all these double pawns on the G and F files.
Yeah, nice insights. Actually, I agree with you on that. Based on the spells, I don't think Bishop 2.0 and Transcendence, I don't think they're a good combination, but this is Elijah we're talking about. He's a legend, so maybe he can use Bishop 2.0 while having this Transcendence, since Transcendence can be used on other pieces, not just on bishops, but also the queens, rooks, and your knights.
Yeah, I've got some chess bias there,
yeah.
so I kind of
Oh,
like
what's the chess
Black's could develop. Yeah, I mean, just if this would be a chess position, Black would be so much more developed. So I kind of like Black in a way, and I even like the pawns. You know, the pawns you mentioned, these doubled pawns on f7, f6, g7, g6. I kind of like them. I don't know. It gives me a feeling of comfort that there are so many of them there. Also helps with the bishop, for example. Yeah, just doubling the pawns protects everything behind them. It's like an extra shield for the bishop. Why not?
Yeah,
and for the transcendence too. For the transcendence too, I cover all sorts of diagonals this way.
Yeah, that's usually, as I was saying, how I like to play. If I'm playing against Transcendence, I just want to put pawns in front of my king the whole time. So my opponent will never be able to capture my king. That's my only goal. Just keep my king as safe as possible. And yeah, with the pawns on f7 and g6, that king is looking pretty safe.
Yeah.
Totally agree. Right now, I don't have. I don't think white king f1 was necessary, but maybe it's a preparation for something. And both of them have more than. Well, we can see that Elijah is around 1 minute and 30 seconds, and Freysa has more than 2 minutes. So maybe this is one of the playstyle that Freysa has. Maybe she's trying to time attack Elijah and probably some blunders again on his side. But let's see what's gonna happen next.
You can dive the knight towards b6. I don't know what form, but you can sort of dive it there, right?
Yeah, might not be within range though. I think it needs to be within a 5x5 grid where your piece is at the center of it, basically. So right now,
at the center of it. Okay, I see.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize. Yeah. I got it now. I got it. So
yeah, rather than 5
range.
squares away. Yeah.
So you basically gonna move knight diagonally. That's what you're gonna do most like, or like a rook, kind of. Yeah. You basically can move the knight like a queen. It's very interesting. Very interesting.
And Pengu Dive can be used 5 times. It's an underrated spell, actually. I'm planning to study about it,
sure.
Maybe make some preparation about it, because I don't think Transcendence
How are you going
is
to
just
prepare?
the meta for this.
How are you going to prepare? How do you prepare this?
Oh, in Anichess, here in the Philippines, because there's a friendly match here in Anichess. So if you wanna fight against someone, if you wanna train how you can use Pengu Dive, maybe you can play against that person and just use these spells so that whenever you play ranked match or participate in this tournament, you can use the skill set that you have already prepared for.
So basically, you're playing training games. That's what you're doing, yeah.
Yeah, I'm playing games against my father, my brothers, and sometimes if I'm ready, I'll play ranked games. Mostly here in Anichess.com.
Wait, can you play OTB Anichess? Has this happened yet?
I think you could, no? You could in theory.
Yeah, I guess we've tried that, but blindfold. It's like we're imagining. Okay, I have 1, 2.
No, it's not possible. No, it's really not possible. You can try it, but you're not gonna.
Yeah, you can.
It's so hard. I
mean,
but I think it's really nice, especially to do it in. Yeah. But I think the nice thing about doing it on Anichess itself and not on the real board is because you can then know exactly which move is legal, which is not. Yeah, because otherwise you could by accident you know what I mean, make an illegal
or transcend the wrong diagonal or something.
Yeah, something like that, and your opponent might not catch it, or you might have so it's cleaner if it's on Anichess itself.
Yeah, it can happen, especially if you're not so honest with your opponent. I'll transcend this piece over there.
He's not. Or imagine your opponent is a beginner, and you start to gaslight him into saying that no, you can do this.
Yeah, I can imagine now.
You could definitely, with me, you could definitely pull off a lot of shenanigans like that, because I've got no clue.
Okay, then we can say we beat Anish, Giri, and chess.
Wow, look, he's used the a4 pawn to attack, and now he opened the files for the rook, and suddenly White's got initiative there on the king side. I really like White's position suddenly. Okay, so d5 pawn is protected by the knight with the Pengu-dive, kind of, isn't it?
The Pengu-dive can only go to an open square, so it can't capture a
It
piece.
can't capture. Okay, so it doesn't protect
Yeah.
anything. Okay, makes sense. So then why don't you take the pawn on d5? Is there anything stopping White from
That's
taking?
what I'm
Just maybe
wondering.
not
Maybe
needed.
the problem is,
time.
okay, if you
Maybe
take the pawn on
it's
d5, transcendence, bishop to a4 comes out on the h3 square, takes the king on f1. Right?
Got it. Got it.
Yeah.
That's why you couldn't take the
So
knight.
cool.
That's why he's the...
A clever
Yeah.
diversion.
Yeah.
Slipping into position.
Yeah, and right
So
now
what are your
they're
guys'
in panic
ratings
mode.
at this? Yeah, no, total panic. Let's just enjoy the panic. To be honest, let's just focus on that.
Yeah.
Black is looking like crashing. Black is probably crashing and has 10 seconds more. Let's enjoy the panic.
Oh, Pengu dive is also really good.
No.
Yeah, it's good for defending, right? Like you can run with the king.
It didn't. Yeah, but he can't hide. So. Go to b1. Oh, that was the point.
The B1.
Yeah.
Hiding. He's hiding actually. Oh no!
Oh! Upset. Transcendence.
Oh, so Fraser wins.
Transcendence. Yeah, Fraser won this match. All right, we got ourselves our winner. Fraser won against Elijah. What a beautiful match.
Yeah, I swear this transcendence spell in low time, it's just like so powerful. You don't
you
even
need
have
some
to like
insane 3D
even
awareness.
know. Yeah, but you could even just like check what legal moves you have. Maybe the king is hanging somewhere.
Yeah, hard. I mean, just awareness is very difficult. Yeah, it's really hard.
Yeah, you need to be completely aware of the left and right edges of the board, and at the same time about the time as well, because they have like in panic mode, so it's really difficult to keep track of everything. And yeah, if you're the one who can keep track of everything, then you're gonna be the winning player in that match.
Wild stuff, guys. I really tremendously enjoyed this and this match, and watching this final. Very impressed with these players, because I would have to study so hard and be so aware to come anywhere near this level. So I had a lot of fun. Thank you guys for having me as part of this. I really enjoyed it, and hope to work more with you in the future and commentate more exciting matches.
Yeah, thank you very much for joining and the commentating with these legendary matches. And yeah, we're looking forward to having some collaborations and partnerships with you. Hannah, anything you want to say?
Yeah, I mean, this was just such a fun and exciting match. I mean, it's really cool to see people who are just such specialists at a variant of chess. I mean, we've seen so many high-level chess tournaments for a long time, but seeing an Anichess tournament and the people that have put all this time into learning all these new rules, it's really cool to see. And yeah, it was so much fun commentating with you guys, learning a little bit more about all the spells myself as well. And yeah, really enjoyed it. And congratulations again to Fraser.
Congrats, Fraser. Thank you very much, Anichess, with Grandmaster Anish here as well.
You're welcome.
Yep.
No, I think Anish Chess is going to depart, but Anish Chess is there to stay. So guys, do join and enjoy the game. Thank
Okay.
you. Bye.
All right. Okay. Congratulations again to all the participants, and that was an incredible ride. And to all the players who gave their all, thank you for bringing the energy, the strategy, the tactics, and the spell slinging drama that made this tournament so fun and incredible to watch. Win or lose, every matches here had something special, and you all made this event truly unforgettable. So, yep, that's me, Johnfdong, and yep, it's me, Hannah. Hannah, do you want to say anything before we end?
Oh, well, I think you said a lot, and it was all really good, and thank you so much. And yeah, just the same as you, it was so much fun, and I appreciate Anichess and also ChessBase India coming together to host a really exciting tournament with prize fund up for grabs. Really cool to see it, and yeah, thank you. And I hope that we'll be coming back for some future ones. Thanks, everybody.
Yes, from us, the whole team, and the amazing community behind the scenes, thank you again. Until next time, keep playing, keep casting, and stay magical. This was Spells Rush. See you soon, and this isn't just any chess, it's Anichess.
second place, but it's the top 8 that we're looking at tonight. So those are the big prizes. You know, top 4 especially are taking home, first place is taking home $700. So this is really where we're going to see who's getting those big prizes.
Yep, and also let's not forget those